Greeting of the day, my dear students. Today we'll discuss about lecture number 6, that is again by your lecturer Mohammed Shakir Ibrahimi. Today we will discuss about two more theories, which is we discuss about development theory and overall. And this theory we have three theories: traditional or classical theory, new classical theory, and modern theory that we have. So in today's session, we'll discuss about new classical and modern theory, and the classical theory was discussed in the last lectures, right? So you will get to know about the new classical theories, criticism of this new classical theory, fact discovered by them, modern theory, and then you will get the various parts of modern theory. What is actually new classical theory? It focuses on one thing, that is human. New classical theory, it is the extension, the development of classical theory, which applied from 20th centuries till 16th centuries. Under this theory, there was two main factors, that is human psychological and human behaviors in the organizations. They are focusing under this theory. So the reason of this theory to implement, to take care of the human, that will increase the efficiency and productivity of the organizations. So what it focused under the new classical theory, so they made to improve by the way of improving the life of individuals, by the way of improving the level of education of humans, the staff of your organizations. So under this, they more consider about the human life rather than other factors, which is considered. At a simple, we can say the new classical theory, it is the development of the classical theory or the traditional theory that we have. So this was this experiment was applied to in the one of country, which is like we can say electronic car company, and then the first experiment has done there, and they developed that how to increase the efficiency, how to increase the productivity of the organization. So if we say by the person who and Gorgi, they have written under this theory, and this Eastern electric company, so the Chicago, they have developed from late 20s till 16 momentum. It was continuous basis, so it was running. So under this theory, they find out two things. That first, the management thinking was showing sign of the change because the improving standard life of individuals and the education level. Before we said under the classical theory that organization, that simple, it says that organization is a machine and humans are the part of this machine. So if we are focusing on the increasing product the output, so we have to work on these two things. But under the new classical theory, they more focus, they more have a sign, they want to improve the individual standard lives and the educational level. The second thing which is developed and they are responsible for these reasons, and they made the new classical theory, that is trade union momentum. So the trade union was coming into pictures, and if you're forcing, if you're more conscious about their staff of their works, so you cannot force them, because we have a trade union momentum, and they got to improve, to develop the organizations. So for this purpose, we have certain criticism for the new classical theory. I to say that it is applying to all of the organization to improve their life, to improve their education. The very first one is certain assumptions are not true. We can say this when we are applying this theory, the new classical theory, it may be not suitable to all people. Right? So it cannot be satisfied the problem of each and every individual in the organizations. So it may be there is a different conflict of interest. among the member of the organization, among the group of the organization, among the staff of the organizations. That's one criticism which we have under the new classical theory. The next one is that limited applications that we have. Under this theory, we cannot make some policies which is universal ways, which will be applied through all the organizations, right? So under this theory, we are overlooking the environment, look out that how we can serve in best suitable way of the organizations to increase again the productivity of the organization. So that is what the second limitations we have. We cannot find any structure which is complete, which is serve the purpose of the organization at all, not at some level. So we cannot find that. The third criticism of this is lack of unified approach. So as I said, this theory is the modification or the development of the classical theory. So we have a lack of unified approaches, so to apply these facts in the real situation, because it is having again certain limitations under this theory. And then the next one, under this theory we are focusing more on the human aspects. It's emphasizing under the new classical theory on the human aspects. So that's what to make concentration, the attention to human aspects, not rather than the productivity, not the systems, not the structures of the organization, not the system, not the discipline, rules, regulations. So they will say they paying good salary to the staff, providing them incentive that will have a positive impact if we do anything. So that is not right. So under this fact, which experiment was done at Harvard, and this was implemented in Western Electric Company. So what happened in this, they find out certain things which is not covered under this theory along with those main things. The first one is individual rules are as a defined and norm established by their social system differ from those of the former organization. So we are defining the rules, the norms of the organization by their social system. Actually, what do other organizations, what they practicing other organizations, we are ignore that, right? So that is what we didn't cover under this experiment, the first thing. Second thing is new economic reward and social sanctions are play quite significant role in the guidance behavior of their works. So if you are giving him non-economic rewards, promotions, different things, so that will have a positive result. If you are giving just an incentive and you will tell to your staff to do these all of them, that cannot be possible. You have to make an environment in such a way that it should be a very motivated environment, very friendly environment, and we have to apply the rule and regulations in that organizations to guide the human behaviors or the behavior of the workers, right? That is what the second thing which is not covered. Third one is the group plays an important role in determining attitude and performance of individual workers. We are always should focus on the group works. We can say group work is more effective than individual works, which is ignored by this theory, because in the group work, if we have under this method, we improve the attitude, we will improve the performance of individuals by the collaborations, by together working to assign different activities, different things to individuals. And the fourth one is informal leaders. So when we can say informal leader is not a formal leader. So if we can say that we are assigning informal leader to enforce these norms, to supervise other people, so that cannot be suitable until now. So we have to take care of this. And then that management should not be focused on the technical skills, but also they have to focus on the effective social skills. How to handle different social skills under this methods that we have, right? And then the next theory is about the modern theory, which focus modern theory is more evolution on the general systems. Theory who is investors, theory who under this modern theory, they develop about the four main functions which is there to answer these different questions which was not answered by the classical theory, or we can say new classical theory. So they didn't define for the the system for the different parts of the organizations. One. Second thing is about they didn't made what is the nature of their interdependency, clear cut structures, and then what are the goals of the system. So what we want to do, to whom we should responsible, and then how to make a structure. So for that they made a part of the system. Under this part of system we have individual first. So if we are having an individual in any company, any organizations, so under this, that people who are working, people who are staff of this organizations, we have to work, we have to make them energy, we have to provide them informations to make the organization background, the attitude for of individual, the motivated environment for these individuals. So that is what it impacts. If you make them providing economic rewards, if you are providing non-economic rewards, so it obviously results into the positive. So that is what first thing under the development theory. The second one is formal organizations. We have to make a very, in the system we have to define a formal structures to maintain the hierarchy level, who is responsible to whom, what are the different principles they have to follow, what are the rules, regulations, procedures and norms that we have in the organization. So that is what important to be considered, and they are making a very clear cut communication, top down or bottom up approach, so to make the formal structures in the organization. So that is what one of the important part of the modern theory, which is important for the organization. The next third elements which is considered under the modern theory, that informal system. In the formal system there may be a negative or positive, or maybe there is a biasness between the staff. So in this case we have to make informal groups to form the satisfy of many individual social needs. That what impact that whatever we are uncovered or uncared by the organizations, so they can maintain by through informal organizational structures between the staff and the organization. The fourth one is about the status and role of the organizations. So every organization having a hierarchy level, right? So in the hierarchy level we have layer, and then we have different segmentation under there. So there is a clear cut responsible who is handling over the organization these different things that we maintain, right? So under this level, to increase the effectiveness and efficiency of these staff and these individuals, we have to consider the status and role of the individuals in the organization, how to improve their efficiency and effectiveness, right? So this is all for today. If you have any questions about the development theory, which we discuss about the classical theory, new classical theory, and then about the modern theory, so you can ask through WhatsApp group or my YouTube channel. Thank you for your watching.